Hey everyone, thanks for tuning into the Performance Lab. Don't forget to subscribe below to the right for updates to new videos and a huge announcement coming up. Enjoy! All right, what's up everyone? Morey Croson here from the Performance Lab of California, and we have another breakdown for you today, and it is on the Doha Championships this past week. I'm doing a little bit of a comparison between Noah Lyles here, who is 5'11", and Andre DeGrasse, who is here, and he is 5'9". And I know DeGrasse right now has gotten the short end of the sticks on a couple of these breakdowns here. He just, ended up coming in second again, and is also very, very well known. And it doesn't have anything to do with, him not doing well in the run. Just, it's a good way to see what's the difference between coming in first and coming in second. So I have a lot of numbers here I could see, already going, or that I've already looked at. So essentially what these steps are is this is DeGrasse here on this side, and then this is Lyles here on this side. And so running the curve, what happened, and what's interesting here is, if we look at the actual setup, we could see that Lyles here is in lane 4, and lane 5, and DeGrasse is in lane 7. Right, so there's a definite difference in the stagnicity of their start. And so what happens is that when they get around the curve and they get to this point here, so I have to go right here. This is Noah Lyles' 50th step. Okay, so that's this number right here, and then this is DeGrasse's 51st step. So even though DeGrasse started in front, he is still at a point where he's taken more steps at this part of the actual race. And so one of the things that obviously that tells us is that Noah Lyles is really, really good at running the curve and being able to maintain his top end speed as he's running the curve. And this is really where he makes the big catch on these guys and really separates from the people that are in lane 4, is when he's turning here. He does a great job of maintaining a solid lead and being able to continue to open up. So what happens is that if you limit your ability to maximize each step as you're sprinting, now the distance each one of your steps, when you're getting these curves, that's where a lot of people end up losing their distance. So you can see how well he catches people right here in this curve, and it really has a lot to do with how much distance he's taken up per each one of his steps. Now you got to be able to maintain your overall posture. So you could see, how like here in lane 4, how there's a big lean over the side as he starts really turning around on this curve, where here you got to really maintain your overall hip height the best you can. You can see here where the hips are a little bit more face down, where Noah Lyles does a good job of maintaining a fairly even hip height position. There's a little bit slanted, but overall he's not too bad, and he's also really working on overall arm drive. I think in the 200, you really all running, you got to be able to maximize your arms. But like here in the middle, you can see there's really inefficient in that arm drive. See how he early extends that elbow there as he's going back, which is negatively impacting his ability to maximize the run. So as we go in here more, what ends up being the next step here is Noah Lyles' finish is at 87.5 steps, where DeGrasse is at 90 steps. And I just want to get that information so now we can actually see it. And so if you see, what happens is he does a great job of really being able to open up. So he closes the gap within the curve, and then now once he's closed the gap, now he's really allowing himself to get to his true natural running form and being able to get his knee out, extend, and pull his leg underneath him. You could see how relaxed he is too in the upper body. That's why I said the upper body is so important here, where you can see here, there's a lot of overall extra motion that's going on within the upper body, where Noah Lyles is being very, very efficient and just allowing his legs to continue to maximize turnover. And because of that, he's just able to continue to reach out. Look at how nice of a stride he's getting here, and then driving that knee through. So he's still sprinting, but the big difference between even like the 100 meter to the 200 meter, or the 60 to the 100 is, and as you continue to go down the lane, it's time spent off the ground. So the longer the run is, the more time you end up having to spend off the ground in order to really be great at the actual event. And so Noah Lyles, the reason he's so good at the 200 is because he naturally has that nice long stride, but is still able to maintain turnover to a degree that makes it so he's very efficient during the 200. So you can end up, for instance, like Usain Bolt, because of how fast his legs move, and how much overall distance he picks up per step. His body's really made for that 100 meter. Where if we were going to go to make it to the 400 meter, the amount of turnover that he gets would end up actually negatively impacting him, Usain Bolt, as he goes. Noah Lyles would be able to convert better, because of how well he maximizes his the time spent off of the ground, right? Because what's amazing about Usain Bolt is he really doesn't spend too much time in really off the ground or on the ground. He's just so quick, so fast twitch. Or when you get into those 400 meters, 800 meters, the longer the race goes, it ends up being a little bit more about how much time you spend on the ground with your feet, so then you can really maximize each one of your steps. And so, not to obviously say that Usain Bolt wouldn't be great at the 400 meter, but there are certain things that your sprinting form sets you up to do better, and certain events that your sprinting form sets you up better to do. So being able to understand that, I think, will make sure that you are competing in the right race for your body type. And then hopefully by watching this breakdown, you can get more of a clear understanding of what are some of the differences that would set you up to having more success, being 5'11" and running this whole thing in 87 and a half steps. If I was a sprinter, anywhere within here, 5'10" to even 6'1", count to see how many steps it takes you to, and you don't have to necessarily be going full speed, just see naturally where you're at. 80, are you close to 87 and a half steps? Because if you're up to 95 steps, that now that you really got to allow yourself to get a little bit more time on the ground and be able to allow your stride to extend out a little bit more. And then from there, you can start working on the efficiency. But if you're already, not at the right amount of steps taken, then you really put yourself at a disadvantage being able to perform well in some of these very, very important events. So the first part of it is really getting your steps down to make sure you're picking up the amount of space per step and the amount of space that you want to be picking up per step. So once you get behind in that step count, each on average, I'd say each one of your steps ends up costing you about 0.2 seconds in your run. So the faster you get down, the better overall you'll be able to maximize your ability to perform as an athlete. All right, so as always, guys, let me know if you have any questions about the video. I know there's a lot of in-depth information here. Also, go ahead and click the link below. We have some cool things that we're offering to all of our members that are interested in being able to sprint faster. So I'm going to have a little link below for a speed program that you can take advantage of, or you can do a breakdown, whatever ends up working great best for you. Click the link below and we'll go ahead and get started. The breakdowns are just like this, are just of you running, been able to provide a lot of clarity for people. So if you're interested in that, click the link and we'll go ahead and get started today. Thanks, and I'll talk to you soon.